Caravanserai of Mercy. Let me tell you a story that takes place long ago in the heart of North Africa, in a small town in Tunisia. It's a story about kindness, tea, and how a simple act can ripple out in ways no one expects. This is the tale of a humble keeper named Idris, the man behind the Caravanserai of Mercy. Idris was a Sufi, a seeker of spiritual peace and wisdom. He lived in a time when travelers from distant lands crossed vast deserts, dusty and exhausted, looking for shelter, food, and rest. The caravanserai, think of it as an inn or resting spot for those on long journeys, was his home and his work. But Idris's caravanserai was not like others. It was a place where no traveler had to pay for tea or kindness. Now, Idris wasn't a wealthy man. In fact, he struggled to keep his caravanserai running. He had debts from buying supplies and keeping the place warm through cold desert nights. Yet he believed deeply in hospitality, what the Sufis call karam. Hospitality was more than just offering food or shelter. It was about sharing mercy, opening your heart, and trusting that kindness would find its way back to you. Each day, he brewed fresh mint tea, a fragrant and comforting drink, and offered it freely to anyone who came through his doors. "Come rest," he would say with a gentle smile. "Sit, drink, and find peace." Travelers, merchants, nomads, pilgrims would stumble in, tired and thirsty, and Idris's tea would revive them. One day, something remarkable happened. A group of merchants arrived late in the afternoon. They were weary and worried. Their caravan had been delayed by a sandstorm, and their goods were at risk of spoiling. They had no money left to pay for a place to stay or even a cup of tea. Idris welcomed them without hesitation, pouring tea after tea. As they rested, they shared stories of their travels and hardships. Days later, a different group came, a band of local farmers who had just sold their harvest and were passing through. They, too, were offered free tea and shelter by Idris. Then, a few days after that, a trader from a far city stopped by, carrying spices and fabrics to sell. He too accepted Idris's offer of kindness. What Idris didn't know was that these visitors had connections, family, friends, and business partners spread across the region. Word of the generous caravanserai spread quickly. Soon travelers arrived not just for rest, but because they had heard that Idris's place was special, a rare oasis of kindness in a harsh world. And here's the twist. The kindness Idris gave freely came back to him in unexpected ways. Those merchants and traders began to bring their business to his caravanserai, paying for lodging, food, and supplies. They helped repair the building when the roof leaked and even lent money without interest. His debt started to disappear, not because he demanded repayment, but because the community around him chose to support his generosity. This story teaches us something important. Hospitality is like a kind of economy, a cycle of giving and receiving. When you offer kindness without expecting anything in return, you create trust and goodwill. People want to support those who support others. It's a reminder that sometimes the best way to solve a problem isn't by focusing on money or rules, but by opening your heart and sharing what you have. Here's a little activity you can try at home or with friends, a tea kindness hour. Set aside 1 hour where you invite someone or even your family to share a cup of tea or any warm drink. Use that time to listen, share stories, or just be present. It doesn't cost much, but it can make a world of difference, just like Idris's simple act of offering free tea to travelers. So next time you feel worn out or maybe a little lonely, think of the Caravanserai of Mercy and remember that kindness is always worth sharing. And who knows, the kindness you give today might just come back to you when you need it the most. Thank you for listening. Until next time, may your journeys be kind and your cups always full.